So how's the quiet mode? I don't know, dude. Can you hear it? No, I can't hear it, actually. Exactly. That's how quiet mode is. It's nice, isn't it? I guess. So how you like the rest of the car? Bro, it's a Honda, man. It's all right. You know, I mean, it's got that Honda engineering, so it's going to last for a while. Probably won't break down on me like everything else. I mean, have you seen those Alfa Romeos? No, I don't like Italian trash. Don't you say that. You hush your mouth, you filthy animal, you. So how's the normal mode?
What's up, guys? This is 𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗘𝗦, and you have reached the Roughneck's Ecom channel. If you want to learn how to make money online or offline, then you need to be right here. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller. I'm also an honorably discharged Air Force veteran. Graduated from Penn State and started a career as a software engineer and leveraged that to build my businesses. If you guys have any questions on how to make money, you're going to find all your answers right here, so stay tuned.
This is the unveil of my new NSX, man. This has been a long time coming. I never thought in a million years I'd ever be getting into my first exotic. You guys know I have the GTR, the Trackhawk. I have my Evo that I love more than any other car. But I finally got it, guys. I finally done stepped up to the exotic game. I got my NSX, and I love it. Absolutely love it. And a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, so how much did it cost? The sticker on it is $198. Okay, $198K. It does not have two of the options that I really wanted, but it was available. So yeah, it does not have the carbon roof, and it does not have the carbon fiber engine cover, which is kind of the thing I really wanted. But whatever, kind of got to suck it up. It is what it is. I cross-shopped the Audi R8, the McLaren 720S, and this. I mean, I looked at the Huracan too, but the Huracan is definitely more money. The Performante at least is more money than what I wanted to spend. And to do the 600LT, roughly the same thing. So when I looked at the R8, I mean, the V10 has been around for a very long time. It's tried and true, damn near bulletproof, really no issues. I wanted to twin turbo it, so I was looking, I talked to the guys over at Sheepy, Alex, and he did my friend Vader's car, the twin turbo Audi R8 that's out here in Philly. For 70 grand, making 1,000 little, actually a little bit over 1,000 little horsepower, pretty dope. But I knew that if I got the, got the R8, that I wouldn't really be happy until it was twin turboed. So every day I'd be going out into the garage looking at this car like, it's not twin turboed. The McLarens, a lot of horror stories, guys, a lot of electrical issues. You guys know that when we were in Miami, with Jerome had a 600LT and it broke like it was a brand new car right off the dealership floor, and it was broke. The parking brake wouldn't disengage. So yeah, and then all the horror stories with the windshields cracking and the little electrical gremlins. I mean, McLaren Philadelphia always has someone's car in there because of the electrical issues. I didn't want to spend that kind of money on a car that I wouldn't really be able to drive. I'd actually never seen one of these in person, up close. They had one at the Philly Auto Show. I didn't go, so I didn't get to see it. And, I ended up going to Acura 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏. Yo, thank you guys so much. You guys are freaking awesome. Karen, yo, you're the best salesman ever for this. I cannot thank you enough. So, went out to Acura and, met with Karen, and he was real knowledgeable. I mean, I had already known about the car, and it was parked off on its own. It was actually, well, I can't say parked off. It was inside in the garage on its own. And, he was fantastic. I got to, check it out. Actually got to drive it before I purchased it. A lot of people don't get to drive the cars before they purchase them, but it is what it is. So I got to take it around. I got to beat on it. You got to test drive over a lifetime, and I fell in love with it. I'm a car guy. I have the GTR, the Trackhawk, built Evo, the whole nine. And for me, this car just felt great. Coming from a racing standpoint, me and my friend Dino, we do a lot of autocrossing. I want to get into a lot more of that this season. The steering feel is fantastic. The ride is very compliant. I just absolutely, love that about it. It's very comfortable. I mean, for me, I'm used to really stiff, suspensions. So something that has a little bit more give is real nice. The average person probably think it's a little bit too stiff, but I enjoy it. I had piece of shit cars for a long time. Like I had just buckets. Like I can't say an SRT4 is a bucket, but compared to what I have now, like yeah, like that was one of my struggle cars. Like I should have never bought that car because I didn't have the money. But being in the military, they were like, oh yeah, we'll finance you for this shit because we know we're gonna get paid anyway. Yeah. Worst idea fucking ever. I struggled so fucking hard with that. I struggled, and then I ended up getting another one, and like bro, like it was hard. Like this shit was really, really fucking hard. And as long as you grind and you stick with it, because all your friends are gonna be out, and I could tell you this 100%. All the people that I hung out with back in the day, I don't kick with. Like, yo, they did was party and all this. Like, bro, like you're a nerd, you're a fucking dork. Like you sit on the internet all day and shit. I'm the only one from high school that has a fucking anxiety. The turn-in feel is fantastic. It has great bite. On the initial turn-in. So when you're hitting the apex, still biting real good. I mean, it has the Super Trophy ARs on there, so that's part of the reason. And it carries its weight very well because of the torque vectoring with the electric motors up front. So it handles great, rides smooth. There's plenty of power all throughout. The GTR right now is a sledgehammer, and it definitely would get it up top. But after we do some goodies, we're gonna tune it, do a full exhaust on this thing, probably lower it, put some wheels on it, do some HREs, I think. And we should have a nice little competitor to the GTR, and see what we can do there. But overall, guys, man, this is amazing. I absolutely love the car. I wanted to tell you guys when I got out and got, when I went to purchase it. Some of you guys actually knew what was going on. If you follow me on social media, which you should, links below. You guys should definitely check that out. As you guys are seeing through all the B-roll footage, it has great lines. I got it in black, which kind of hides the body lines, but it has great lines. Carbon ceramic brakes are fantastic. I'd say they're just as good as the Porsche CCBs. If you guys know what that is, Porsche carbon ceramic brakes. I don't like the turbos and Turbo S's. Well, they come standard on Turbo S. You can get them as an option on turbos. Great bite. Just fantastic bite. The one thing that surprised me was the quiet mode. I was not sure how that was going to feel, but it was pretty dope. I used it coming in, into my development, put it in EV mode, in quiet mode, and was able to just cruise into my driveway and into the garage. No noise whatsoever. That's actually really nice. And then when you don't need the motor running, if you're just idling, it shuts off. It still runs all the accessories. I think that's actually pretty dope. So this is a cheaper miniaturized version of the Porsche 918. This is a tech that's going to be going into all supercars in the future. More than likely, I can't say more than likely, like the SF90 from Ferrari is going to have technology like this. Obviously going to be infinitely more exclusive because of the brand. But the 918 started it. The NSX took it, made it more attainable. And this is going to start trickling down to all the other, I'm pretty sure all of Honda's other lineup in the future. So, I mean, it's an amazing car. Like, I absolutely love it. You guys can see it back there. I mean, it's great. It's a great car. I mean, we're going to have to go drive it so we can get our thoughts on it so you guys can really see what I'm talking about. Let's go.
When did you realize, all right, this change is about to be for real? Like, oh, I'm not about to be like how I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when you first started your process?
When I got home from the military, I think that's when it really hit me that I'm like, this can work. Like, I was already doing shit. I was tuning cars still, but I was leveraging all those skills and then selling shit online and all that. And then I think when I bought my R32, when I bought my Mark V, the Volkswagen R32, when I bought that, I think that's when I was like, yo, like, I could really do something here. And then I got my first STI, then my second one, then my third one, then my fourth one.
You want to do Subarus?
I'm like, all right. And then I got my first Evo, and I still have that. I mean, I love that car. Yeah. And at that point, I'm like, yo, like, and I mean, and my friends will tell you, like,
Evo probably sound like a shotgun. Those are the cars that sound like literally guns going on.
I mean, I love it, but a lot of my friends were just talking mad shit. They're like, yo, you're a dickhead now. Like, I was like, bro, like, I'm because I wouldn't come hang out. Like, I would come to the meet. I'd be there for 30 minutes and be like, yo, I got to go home. I got to go study. you know, I got to get my homework done. I got to go focus on my Amazon stores, my Shopify store. I got to get this listed on eBay. I got to check with my employee. I got all this other shit. And they're like, bro, you're corny. You're corny. They're like, I get bitches. I got money. Like, we're good. Yeah, the car itself is not obscenely low. Like, it's low, but it doesn't scrape on every little thing. I mean, my GTR scrapes going into my driveway. This is slightly higher, so it doesn't scrape as long as I go in the right angle. It will go in at the right angle, I should say. It's wide. It's wide just like the GTR is, but it fits in the garage better because it's shorter, right? It's not near as long. You know, GTR is a really, really long car. It's really big. It's really hefty. This is a hefty car, but it hides the weight really well. So when you look at it, the lines make it seem that it's smaller than what it is or lighter than what it is. You know, this is still a 3,900 pound car, you know, similar to the GTR. It just feels more nimble, you know, based on the ride height and the proportions of the vehicle itself. You know, the GTR has a little turbo lag, but when it hits, it's a kick in the chest. You know, it feels like a horse just, boom, just welled on you. This, since it has the electric motors for the torque fill, you know, the 2 up front and the 1 between the engine and transmission to help with the turbo lag, you don't really feel that sensation. It's very linear. It's very linear. You know, it's very smooth. You know, I love that part. You know, I was never really a fan of really, really big turbos and then no power, no power, no power, tons of power. I've had cars like that, and truthfully, they're not fun to drive around town. They're great on a highway, but for driving around town and doing little things, you know, like the light, absolutely terrible. You know, like I was mentioning before, oh my God, I'm about to sneeze. My allergies are terrible right now, guys. Oh, we're good. All right, but as I was mentioning before, you know, tons of grip due to the all-wheel drive setup and the fact that it has active torque vectoring with the electric motors. You can't really feel them working except for when you're getting close to the limit, which you shouldn't do on public roads, by the way. I did that in Mexico. Let's see what else. The interior quality, the pictures make it seem worse than what it really is. I really like the interior. You know, it doesn't have the Ferrari leather feel. If you guys have ever been in a Ferrari, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the car is very well put together. The fit and finish is very nice. Honda is amazing when it comes to that. They have very great fit and finish. The original NSX, same way. If you guys have ever driven one of those. You know, this has very nice quality materials, you know, like the Alcantara, the leather on the seats. You know, I wanted the red interior, which is really important. You know, I wanted the carbon interior options like the steering wheel and the dash. You know, I wanted the carbon like front lip and side skirts, rear diffuser, the carbon ceramic brakes, which, you know, I mentioned before, just bite fantastic. You know, so overall the interior quality, very nice, you know, very nice. I mean, I think it's fantastic. You know, I wouldn't give it a solid like 10 out of 10. You know, I'd give it more like I don't know, we'll say like a 8 out of 10, you know, just because I've been in like higher end cars, like very, very expensive cars, like, you know, the 458 Special, you know, the Aventador SV, things like that, with the carbon doors, you know, here, and, you know, I mean, even the 𝗬𝗟 back in the day. They're trying to do anything they can to make ends meet, or they, you know, they're just like, oh man, yo, I get bitches. Like,
yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I'm like, come on, bro, like you got a 400 credit score, a 92 Honda Accord wagon that's falling apart, and you're talking, I get bitches. Like, nobody cares about that. Like, yo, better your life, and then you can do whatever you want. Like, focus on your craft, master it, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I promise you. You know, so everything comes together for the driving experience. It's not unbearable like you would think a supercar would be or an exotic would be, where you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. You know, it's very harsh on my back. You know, I was mentioning with the suspension and all that. It's actually very comfortable. It's almost like driving a Porsche. I know a lot of you guys might have not driven a Porsche, like a 911. You know, 911 would be a grand example. They're very comfortable cars. They're very easy to drive, and I feel that this is just as easy to drive as that. I mean, Porsche is obviously the gold standard, so you know, nothing can really measure up to that. I don't care who you are. If you're a car guy and you've driven cars, the Porsche is by far like the gold standard, which is why every car manufacturer pulls in like the 911 turbos, the GT3s, now the GT2 RS, the whole nine, just to compare their vehicles against that. You know, as far as like the way it fits me, you know, guys, like I lift, I'm a bigger guy. You know, the bolstering is nice. It's not, you know, too crazy like in some, you know, some other cars. Like if you guys have ever been in the racing seats for the McLaren, they're definitely not like that. These are, you know, kind of plush on the side, you know, comfortable. I mean, they're heated and stuff. I mean, it's summertime, so I'm not gonna have to use that feature. You know, so there's that. I like having the engine in the back, behind the driver's seat. You know, I've never personally owned a you know, a mid-engine car like that. You know, we have Porsches and stuff like that. You know, I never financed a car like that. You know, lease, yes, finance, no. Like, so this is mine. You know, and that's the cool part. I don't have to give this back. You know, it's my car. I can beat it if I want to, and which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat the snot out of this car. Most people wouldn't. They'd be like, oh no, like, you don't ever want to beat your cars. Like this one, I'm gonna beat to death and see what we can do. All right, yeah, you know, Acura, don't quote me on that. All right, just please give me the warranty work if something happens. But yeah, guys, man, I'm really thrilled to see what this car can do. You know, we're gonna mod it, like I said, and then we're gonna do some cool things. You know, I'm a car guy, so I gotta mod all the things that I get. So, you know, so stay tuned for that. You guys will be seeing, you know, more and more mods. You know, and you guys are like, where did all this money come from? Drop shipping, guys. Like all my drop shipping money, you guys know that I was really patient. If you've been following me, you know, through my journey, I didn't, you know, spend any of my money. You know, I kept it. I was saving it, and then finally, you know, like last year and this year, I started, you know, treating myself and treating my friends and doing all that because I sacrificed for so long. And you guys can do the same thing. You guys can do the same exact thing. This is not something that is unattainable for the majority of you. Like I wholeheartedly believe that anybody can achieve this, you know, and I'm living proof. You know, I come from a very small farming town, middle of nowhere. You know, a good chunk of, you know, my family damn near illiterate. But, you know, here we are driving supercars. You know, got my first exotic, and you know, I can't wait to see what the future has in store for me and for you guys. So let's do it. Time for you guys to get yours. All right, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.